I've used a lot of gaming headsets in my day through testing, reviewing, blogging about it, all that stuff. But this is the first time that I've had a gaming headset that's open back by a brand that's well regarded by audiophiles, and this is the Drop X Sennheiser PC37X gaming headset. We're gonna review this, see if it's worth it, if it's all that it's cracked up to be, worth the price tag, coming up. Hey guys, this is Betty from Switch and Click, and here we got another gaming headset review for you guys. This is the Drop X Sennheiser PC37X gaming headset. Had this for a month and a half now, I believe, and I've been using it for work, music, gaming, all that jazz, on and off, and I'm finally ready to review it. It's been a while since we did a gaming headset, but I think this is gonna be a good one. We bought it for about $90. It was on sale last year during the holiday season. Picked it up because it was a great deal and a great price, and here we are. We'll jump into what's in the box. Alright, so in the box there actually aren't a lot of accessories or anything at all. You get your gaming headset, and then you get your 10-foot cable, and this is a special cable that you can buy pretty much only on Sennheiser. It's called the UNP PC cable. It has a 2.5 millimeter connection on one side and then a split 3.5 connection on the other, one for the headphone side and one for the microphone side. And the entire cable is braided and black and 10 feet long. So this thing is really long. It gets caught up in everything, under my chair, under my arm rests, under the wheels, desk, everything. It's just really long. Cable managed that bad boy. And then you also get a small specifications sheet as well as safety data that pretty much says don't listen to music at really loud volume because it will hurt your ears. There's also specs on it that we'll go over later in the video as well if you're interested in that. And that's pretty much for what you get in the box. That is it. Let's jump into build quality. Alright, build quality and design. Right out of the box, I saw that this thing is pretty flimsy. It's all plastic. It's relatively lightweight. I weighed it on the scale without the cable and it was about 250 grams. It can twist and expand and close in all sorts of ways, but sometimes you do hear the plastic creaking when you twist it, and that's probably my primary concern because I have a relatively small head, but I have to expand the headset quite a bit to get it over my head comfortably. And after countless putting it on and taking it off and putting it on and taking it off over and over and over again, I just fear that the plastic over time will bend or snap or crack or something bad. At the top of the headband you have the Sennheiser branding here. There's a velour cushiony pad at the top of the headband here as well, and it's pretty comfortable for the most part, but we'll talk about that later in the comfort section. You have the plastic headband extender as well, and it goes quite a long way, and it makes a clicking audible click and tactile feeling as well when you open it up. And the best thing about this headset is that it also fits small people's heads such as mine. As a person with a small head, I've always had a hard time finding headsets or headphones that fit me properly, and this one fits really well. At its smallest position, I would say that it's too small for my head. My ears are pretty much gapping all the way here now, and I have to expand it quite a bit to get it fitting just right. So if you're looking for a headset with a small head, don't pass these up. Definitely check them out. So it fits super comfortably with the headbands expanded maybe a 25% of the way there. Each cup has a small amount of swivel to fit properly on your head, and then it has a lot of movement here in each ear cup to really conform to the shape of your head. On the right ear cup you have a volume knob that's really easy to turn, especially when you're just gaming and someone's talking to you. You can turn it down really quickly to talk to them and then turn it back up. It is an open back headset. There's plastic grills on the side, and although it appears to be a hybrid open back headset, it's definitely open and there's a lot of noise leakage going on for sure. On the left side you have the microphone that's not detachable, and you can swivel it down to turn it on or swivel it up to mute. I like it all the way up. Sort of sucks that you can't remove it at all though. It would be nice if you could just pull it out like you could in an Astro headset. And then the ear cushions are made of that same velour material as well, and it accumulates a lot of pet hair, dust, dandruff if you have that. So just since it's black, it can get dirty looking really fast. So overall it looks good. It's a stylish headset. The cable is detachable on the left ear cup here, and you can just plug that right in if you want to, or take it out. And it looks fairly decent. On my head, I would say it looks a little bit big and sort of silly, but I think all headsets look silly on me, so oh well, it just happens. So the build quality is a little bit questionable, but it is lightweight and it sure is stylish. What about the comfort though? So as far as comfort goes, I've worn these for several hours at a time before, and it does develop a hotspot at the very top of the headband here where it touches your head. However, that happens at like hour 3 to hour 4 of having these on, and I don't know about you, but I pretty much never have headphones or a headset on for that long. I usually always set them down, drink water, go to the bathroom, do whatever, take a rest from them, and that'll usually reset them quite nicely. If you are doing really long gaming / streaming sessions with these, I do recommend you like move it around on your head, you know, once in a while between games maybe, to just relieve that pressure a bit. The velour ear pads do get warm, especially in the summer or if your heat is on really high, but in the winter time like now, it poses no problems at all. The clamping force I would say is moderate to high, but it doesn't need to be broken in to put on. Yes, expanding it at first takes a lot of force, but once it's on your head, it doesn't really feel like it's pushing in at all, and it just stays at that width, so it's fairly comfortable. The area that they allotted for each ear feels a little bit small in my opinion. I did measure it, and it is approximately 70 millimeters in length by 35 millimeters in width, and then the height from the ear to the driver is about 25 millimeters. So there's plenty of room, except it's too long and not wide enough. I guess it just depends on your ear shape, but my ears get pressed in just a little bit, especially the outer edge or the bottom earlobe there. But overall, it's pretty comfortable. Your ears definitely feel like they're far from the drivers. They're not pressed by your ears by any means. And the soundstage is super duper wide. All right, we should put on some glasses. So with glasses, the ear pads, they do shift the glasses a little bit when you first put them on. However, if you have your glasses on securely and then you place the headset on really slowly, it shouldn't move your glasses too much. Alongside that, the cushions are easily replaceable. You just pull them out and they just snap right in with the plastic ring. They use the exact same cushions as the Sennheiser Game 1, so you can find replacement ear cushions if you need to. And to put them back, you just press them back in until it all snaps into place. So it does fit a variety of heads, and that is probably my favorite part about this headset. All right, so what about connectivity? So it is a PC gaming headset. In order to use this on console, you need to buy an additional anti-splitter kind of thing that takes the two connections and puts them into one 3.5 millimeter connection, and you can buy that online if you want to. But as it is out of the box, it pretty much only works with PCs. I've connected it directly to my motherboard, and the sound quality is okay. The mic works, the loudness is enough, but in order to get the full experience out of this headset, definitely connect it to a DAC and an amp. I've been using the Schiit Fulla 3 gaming DAC amp, and it sounds really good with that in terms of the sound quality and the microphone quality, and I can get a way higher volume than just with my motherboard. The impedance is 50 ohms, but you can still power it with your motherboard, especially if it's one of the more recent ones. So it just depends on what motherboard you have, but my motherboard really sucks with this headset. Yeah, it's bad. All right, let's jump into probably the most important part of this, and that's sound quality. This is a Sennheiser headset, and it does have Sennheiser drivers. It has drivers that come from the same family as the Sennheiser HD598s and the HD600s. They are angled to provide a wider soundstage, and I definitely agree with that. The soundstage is really wide, especially when listening to music that's very like orchestral or instrumental. It's beautiful. In games, you can hear sounds from really far away, shooting from a distance. You can hear footsteps from behind you. It works really great. Primarily, I've been playing Call of Duty with these. I've also played a MOBA, but I guess on MOBA, the sound directionality doesn't really matter at all. As far as the frequency response curve goes, it's fairly neutral with slightly recessed bass, which makes it significantly different than those sound curves of typical gaming headsets where the bass is really amped up and then the highs are really amped up as well. The mids of these aren't recessed at all, and they're fairly neutral. So if you're listening to music, everything sounds pretty dang good. The highs are just a teeny tiny bit higher, but it's not super noticeable unless you're looking at the sound curve. When I was listening to like all kinds of music, everything sounded pretty decent. Hip hop wasn't super interesting or super punchy to listen to though, so I guess that's a small downside. But in games, footsteps and grenades and gunshots, they all sounded pretty appropriate compared to some of my other headphones, my Bayer DT990 Pros. The highs definitely weren't as sharp. When listening to music through this headset, you know, all the little details can be listened to if you close your eyes and just listen to it, like the flute in the background or the harp that's going on. The detail distinction is very clear, and I really like that about it. It's pretty close to a neutral sounding headset, I would say. We don't have a review of this headset on our website yet, but when we do, the frequency curves will be there. All right, microphone quality. Microphone quality is probably the weakest part of this headset, to be honest, and it's going to depend on your computer, your motherboard, or your DAC amp if you have one. It is a noise canceling microphone. It takes in sound from one side and it will cancel the noises. So primarily you're going to be only hearing your voice that you're speaking to your friends, Discord, in-game chat, whatever. And it does have a nice swivel up to mute function where you can hear that click happen so you know exactly when it mutes. All right, it's time for the microphone test, and you can pretty much judge the quality for itself. All right, so this is what the microphone sounds like connected straight to my audio recorder. We'll do one with it connected to the PC, and then we'll do one connected to the gaming DAC and amp as well. So you really get to hear a wide variety of what this sounds like. On the recorder, I would say it sounds pretty decent, but there's a lot of breathing sounds, especially from my nose, that can be heard if I'm breathing through my nose. Yeah, that's pretty awkward. Definitely keep the microphone low and not closer to your nose. And I'm going to try the mute function, so here we go. Alright, mute is perfect, works really well, and I gotta say, it sounds really good with the recorder. Time to jump into the test with the PC. Alright, so this is the sound test when it's plugged in directly into the computer and the volume is super low. Can't really get it to be used in a reasonable way. However, if you do record it with programs such as Audacity or Discord, you can always amp up the gain in post, but in live chat it sucks. If you connect it to a gaming DAC and amp, the volume can be much louder, so keep that in mind. This is a sound test of the Drop X Sennheiser PC37X with the Schiit Fulla 3 DAC and amp, and as you can see, the volume and gain is a lot higher and you can actually hear what I'm saying. So yeah, definitely keep that in mind if you're purchasing this headset and you plan on just connecting it straight to your motherboard. The microphone isn't gonna be very good. Alright, it's an open back headphone, so what about sound leak? Yeah, there's sound leak. Of course there's sound leak. there's noise leak from outside to inside, from inside to outside. If someone's sitting directly next to you and you're listening at just enough volume for you to hear all the details, they're not going to be able to hear it. But if you're listening at a slightly louder volume, like a moderate volume where you can't really hear someone else talking to you, but you sort of know they're talking to you, they're going to be able to hear all the lyrics and all the details of whatever you're listening to. So it's definitely not for public use. It is a gaming headset, so primarily you should be gaming inside your home or space, but the sound leak can annoy others, especially if they're gunshots. I absolutely hate hearing gunshots from an open back headphone, especially if I'm trying to work. The noise is extremely distracting, irregular, loud, and annoying. All right, some specs, fun information. The frequency response of the headphone is 15 to 28,000 hertz. The microphone for frequency response is 50 to 16,000 hertz. The impedance we mentioned before is 50 ohms. The cable length is 10 feet. Really long and annoying. The weight with the cable is 285 grams. Without the cable, it's 250 grams. And it is a plug and play headset. You don't need an amp or a DAC. However, that is beneficial. You can plug it straight into your PC and work it right away. There's no drivers, there's no software needed. All right, so what's the verdict on this headset? The price of this headset is around $120 right now on drop. I think $130 on Amazon. When we got it, it was $90. And for this price tag, it does do music and sound quality very, very well. However, because of its open back qualities, there's sound leakages and noise leak. So it really depends on what you want to use it for. If you're using it for gaming in your own personal space, it's really great. If you have a friend or family next to you in the room next to you, you'll be hearing a lot of their talking or kitchen noises or other things like that. The sound signature is definitely different from typical gaming headsets, and it's fairly neutral overall, but that doesn't take away from enjoying the game sound still, because it's very immersive. The soundstage is very wide. The comfort is what impresses me the most. On most headsets and headphones that I review, the comfort is probably the biggest sticking point for me in terms of fit, in terms of how long I can wear it and how well it fits my head overall. This fits small heads, big heads, and the clamping force is just right. Yes, the cushions do get a little bit hot after some time, but I can wear this for probably 3 hours without complaining, which is like, I'm a big complainer, so I complain a lot. But that really says something in terms of comfort. It might look a little silly on my head, but on your head it probably looks pretty cool. The looks are sleek. The build quality does concern me a little bit though, with putting it on and taking it off multiple times. That plastic does feel a little bit flimsy. The microphone isn't super impressive, and it actually seems a little bit of an afterthought to making it a gaming headset. Just put on a microphone, but it gets the job done. And the noise leak isn't too bad. It actually sounds amazing. It's an amazing sounding headphone. It's just the durability, it's a bit questionable. Yeah, to be honest, I really, really, really like it a lot. Yeah, a lot. We did order the PC38X, however, that was like super expensive, and it's coming in the future, and we'll do a comparison when the time comes. Anyways, if you're interested in the Sennheiser PC37X, links are down below if you want to check that out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!